Hey guys, welcome back to Brad's Repair. So we didn't get anything out last week as far as any type of content, unfortunately. Myself, along with my little ones, everybody in the house was pretty much sick. So kind of getting over it now, starting to get my voice back, which is why I really didn't do a video last week, mainly because voice was kind of going in and out, and so you really couldn't hear me. So today it's just going to be me and Harley hanging out together and trying to get you some type of content out. I wanted to do something kind of simple today, simply just because, like I said, everybody's still kind of getting over it. So I don't want to overexert myself too much. But anyway, something I thought we would talk about, kind of a two-part situation. Just kind of food for thought. So it was a couple of weeks ago. I'd posted, well, actually, it was more than a couple of weeks ago. But anyway, I had did a video of me doing, trying to remove some lug nuts off of a car. And I was struggling with that. And during that video, one of the comments that I had made was that my little impact wasn't getting the job done. So I opted to swap to my bigger impact, which obviously still didn't get the job done. I ended up having to resort to a breaker bar and a cheater pipe to be able to get these things off. And I actually ended up, didn't need to, but I utilized my heat induction system for that. Not that it was necessarily needed, but it was more for the purpose of being able to show a different tool in a video being used. That was the whole point of me using that. Plus, it was to help loosen up the rust in it so that I wouldn't necessarily snap the studs off from it. But anyway, I had a comment on that video saying it was more about the fact, well, I had one that was more related to a cheater pipe and a breaker bar, which is what I ultimately did in the video anyway. There was another comment on that video that when I had said, let me swap from my little impact to my big impact, somebody had made the comment of, well, you call that a big impact, why don't you get a real impact like a DeWalt or Milwaukee or something like that. So to kind of bring that into context a little bit, when I refer to my little impact, it's because it's compact, the head isn't real large on it, and my bigger impact is because it's a significantly larger impact. So when I say big or little impact, that's what I'm referring to. But it got me thinking, this has been a controversial thing forever, and it hasn't really changed. So I just kind of want to throw my 2 cents in on this. So for some of y'all that know me, for a long time, I actually sell tools. I sell tools through a retailer. And now I've moved on to something else within the retail industry. But so I not only sell them, but I'm pretty knowledgeable on basic hand tools, electric electric drills, cordless tools, if you will. And I've been in the automotive on my own for as long as I've been alive and been able to pick up a tool. So there's not a lot about tools that you can or cannot tell me. There's always new tools that I'm learning about, and that I'm willing to give a shot to, give it a try and see what happens. However, here's my thought on this. I'm not going to in any way, shape, or form dispute the fact that your brand tools such as DeWalt, Milwaukee, Ryobi, whatever, your branded tools. I'm not gonna dispute the fact that those are good tools. They are really good tools. They have really good warranties. If you watch a lot of my content and you're not new to this, you will notice that especially on my cordless tools, they're far few and in between on what I have that is actually name brand. I think the only thing that I have that's an actual branded name is a Ryobi drill. Everything else is some off-brand. 99% of it comes off of Amazon. Um, like I have my bigger impact, which is Nico or Nico, however you want to pronounce it. That I got that off of Amazon. Okay. The newer impact, I did a video on it. It's a compact one. That's Amazon. My cordless ratchet or battery powered ratchet, whatever you want to call it, Amazon. Most of my power tools have come off of Amazon. So here's my thought behind this, though, not to veer off subject with it of where stuff is or where it's not coming from. I get that a lot of people are Milwaukee fanboys or DeWalt fanboys or whatever, and that's totally fine. If that's what you're into, I'm not hating on you at all. They're good tools. They have a purpose, and that's fine. It's the same thing with your cheaper tools. Your like all my power tools are, again, they're all Amazon stuff. They have a purpose. For me, like most content creators, I'm at the very, very bottom of the list. Unless you have heard from me from word of mouth or a friend or a family has recommended you to my channel, I'm probably not blowing up on your main page. That's just the reality of it. I don't have a lot of followers. I don't have a lot of subscribers. The ones that I do have, I definitely appreciate. This has never been about me blowing up and becoming like a super famous YouTuber. That's never been my intent. If I get there, it's because of you guys, and I'll be forever grateful. I'm forever grateful for the subscribers that I do have. It's always been for me about being able to get out videos to teach you something that you might not know. Because I can personally tell you, especially being in a retail setting, there's a lot of stuff that a lot of people just don't know about. They don't know that it's a thing or that it exists, or they don't know that they can do this or they can do that, or it's 2 or 3 minutes to do this, or it's, very simple little task on automotive stuff that you can do that you don't have to pay out hundreds of dollars for somebody else to do, just simply because you don't have that confidence that you can do it. So for me, it's never been about being super famous or trying to blow up. If I get there one day, great. If I don't, no harm, no foul. But like most YouTubers, you start out at the bottom, so you're not going to be able to invest a lot of money into power tools. You're not going to be able to really go straight out the gate and be able to buy expensive tools. Now, that's not to say that I can't buy some of this stuff. It's because all the tools I use, I want to be able to get the point across that you don't have to have a $500 DeWalt Impact. You don't have to have a $200 or $300 DeWalt or Milwaukee cordless ratchet. All of these tools that I have, that I've used, again, they're not name branded tools per se. Most of these are $100 or less. But they do a job, and they do it well, and they do it well enough for me to be able to get content out to you guys. But it's a message to you guys to let you know that you don't have to have the biggest and best tools to be able to get a job done. I'll tell you, the Nico or Nico, however you want to pronounce it, Impact, I've had that thing now for about 4 years. It has never let me down. It's never overheated. It's never broke. Like, everything works the way it did when I bought it. Now, does it carry a warranty like your higher end tools? Absolutely not. But I'm okay with that. Now, I will say this. If you have the ability and you want to invest the money into a tool product that's a good product or what have you, that's probably the best option to go about it, because you could pick a platform such as Milwaukee Ryobi, Black and Decker, um, whoever. Pick a brand and stick with that brand, because if you buy a Ryobi drill but you buy DeWalt Impact, now you're on two different platforms. So you have to have a battery for this one, and then you have to have a battery for this one, and then if this battery dies, you can't use this battery. So, but if you pick one platform all the way across, such as Ryobi as an example, I have a Ryobi drill, I can now go and get a Ryobi Impact, or I can get a Ryobi string trimmer, or whatever, and I can stay across that platform, and I can swap batteries around and use each battery for a different one. So that would be my suggestion. If you have the money and you have the means, and it's something that really is important to you to have a good quality tool, definitely pick one platform, one brand, stick with that for as much as you possibly can. Unless you have to get something through a different platform that the one brand might not carry. Now, however, for me, I buy my tools when I can, as I can. For me, as a DIYer, I'm not doing this as a professional thing. I'm not doing it like full time. I'm doing YouTube videos and working on friends and family's car, along with my own personal projects. So for me, to me, it's not worth going out and spending thousands of dollars to have one platform, when I can go out and I can buy $100 Impact and know that I'm going to be able to do at least several jobs with it before it's going to break down, and it doesn't break my pocket. And I'm okay with that. So if you actually look at my platform, I actually have it all set up over here behind you, but if you look at all of my tools, all my power tools, there's not a one over there that is the exact same name brand. So I'm actually going to do this. Let me flip the camera around. So if we look right here, these are all the boxes for all my different tools, for my power tools. But if you look up here, you'll see Ryobi, you'll see a different brand, and I have them all labeled so I know which each charger does. But just to bring the point home that you will have to have multiple chargers, where if you have one brand, you might only need 2 or 3 chargers. So again, for me, and the reality, and so that we kind of have a mutual understanding, the tools I use, again, are because they're they're very inexpensive, so anybody can purchase them. They're all relatively simple to use. They're not overcomplicated. They don't weigh 45 pounds per tool, and they're not going to break down within the first 1 or 2 uses. If I get 6 months out of a $100 tool, then you're probably doing really good. That's just the reality of it. But that's what my content is about. It's about showing you guys that if I can do it, you guys can do it. And if you need a tool, you don't have to go out and break the bank to buy said tool. Alright, so we had to move out to the car. It's starting to get a little bit loud in the house with everybody in and out. But anyway, like I said, the whole point of this was just to kind of be able to say, it's okay that you don't use expensive tools. You don't have to have $100 in one tool, like hundreds of dollars in one tool. It's okay if you can't. Not everybody can afford it. You know what I mean? It's just the reality of it. Again, if I needed to go out and buy it, I probably could, but I can't justify spending hundreds of dollars on one tool when I know I can get 2 or 3 different tools that are a lesser brand, but means I can do more jobs. Again, I always have friends and family come to me and they're asking me if I can do this or do that for them. And using basic hand tools is a necessity sometimes, but if I can buy a cheap power tool and get it done quicker and put in less effort, not to say that I'm lazy, but we're all getting older. That's the reality of it. So with that being said, it is what it is, let's just move past it. Let's go ahead and move on into something, beyond that, let's get back to the reality of, you don't need hundreds of dollars in one tool to be able to do a job. But in closing, I wanted to do this as well, just so that you're not sitting here listening to me jibber jabber on forever and a year. It is getting closer to cold weather season where I'm at, so we're getting closer to winter. And in preparation for that, I thought we would maybe talk about a few things that I would personally recommend looking into or obtaining, or at least having access to, with these colder months coming around the corner. We are about middle of October right now, so it's going to start getting colder and the weather is going to start turning. And if you're probably one of the unfortunate states like me, you're probably going to get snow. So in preparation for that, these are just a few things that I would recommend having or go ahead and prepping for. Obviously, I think the first one would be washer fluid. Make sure that you get a negative temperature washer fluid. That way you can kind of spray your windows with it and help get the ice off. Ice scrapers. I think ice scrapers are very important. It's something that you should have. A little tip, door locks on cars. They tend to ice over relatively easy because that's a small piece of metal. Get you a small spray bottle, like a little mist bottle, like this big, and put you some denatured alcohol in it. That denatured alcohol, you just mist it on there, that will actually melt your ice down for you, so that you can actually get your key in and out if you don't have a key fob. Like on my Corolla, no key fob, old school door lock. Something else I think is very important, because if you understand how they function, then this tool makes sense to you. A tire pressure gauge. Get you one of these. That way you can always check your tire pressures, because if you know, you know. If you don't know, as the car tires cool off or match the outside temperature, obviously, if it's cold, they'll start to kind of deflate a little bit. If it's hot, that pressure builds and it starts to inflate a little bit. So always having access to one of these is very important. Secondary to that, I recommend always getting some type of portable air and tire inflator, because you never know, you might not make it to a gas station or somewhere to actually have your tires aired up. So for me, I've got this nifty little guy, if I can get it up here, like this right here. Very portable. This particular one I picked up at a local retailer on their online website. I think it was about $15-20. It has multiple ends. It has a cigarette outlet so you can plug it into your car. It also has a different plug-in so that you can plug it into 120 or 110, just a standard wall outlet with multiple different ends of it so that you can use it for various things. But I like to keep this in one of my vehicles during the wintertime. That way, if need be, I can inflate a tire on the fly real quick. Wiper blades, I think that's something. Check them. If you haven't put them on recently, I'd go ahead and probably replace them. I'm actually going to do like a little short video on how to replace wiper blades, just because I understand that not everybody knows how to replace a wiper blade. So that'll be coming up soon. One very important thing, this is an older version, but it's what I've got laying around. There's multiple different ones. You can get them for very cheap all the way up to very expensive, very portable, up to an ungodly monstrosity like the one I have in front of me. A jump pack. I think jump packs are very important. Batteries tend to drain during the wintertime. When it's cold, it's harder on your car to start. So sometimes having a good jump pack is convenient. You can get ones that look like little cell phone chargers. They'll range anywhere from $20 up to a couple $100, depending on where you get it from and how big of one you get. So I definitely recommend getting one of those. Another very important tip that I think I could suggest to you guys, check your Freon, your antifreeze. I don't know why I said Freon. Your antifreeze. Check your antifreeze. There are little testers that you can get. They look like little syringes. They have a couple of different colored balls inside of it. They're like $2 at like Walmart or whatever. You basically just dip it in your coolant. You squeeze some into it, and inside the glass tube, the little balls will start to float. You might get them all to float. You might only get one or two to float. And there's a chart on the back of the thing that you can just turn over and read, and it tells you what it means based on how many of the little balls or beads inside of it are floating. It'll tell you to what temperature it's actually good for. I'm sure I'm missing a couple of things. Not everybody thinks about this. It's not really that big a deal for me, but you never know who you are or where you're going or what's going to happen. Always try to keep a couple blankets in your car. You never know if your car breaks down on the side of the road. You don't know how long you're going to be there for, or if you get stuck in a ditch because you ran off the road or slid off the road or what have you during the wintertime. Keep a couple blankets in the car. Keep you a couple bottles of water in the car just so you can have something to hydrate yourself with, things of that nature. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much all I could think of. I'm sure there's a lot more stuff that a lot of people can think of. If there's something that I left out on that, comment below. Also, I have recently discovered that there's a new feature for YouTube now. So, as always, I tell you guys to like, share, and subscribe, and it's greatly appreciated. Now there's a new feature. It's called Hype. So you hit that hype button, and it hypes up the channel. It sends it. The more hypes I get, the more it's gonna put it out there to the world for everybody to see, which is my goal. I want as many people to see my videos as possible, because you never know. There might be something on my channel that might not be on somebody else's channel that I can teach you how to do and save you a lot of money. But yeah, that's it for this one. I appreciate you guys. I'm sorry I didn't get a video out last week. Like I said, I'm still kind of getting over all of this. Starting to get my voice back. Everybody else is finally starting to come around to feeling good again. But as always, I appreciate you guys. You guys always rock it out week after week. And that means a lot to me, and so I want to keep this channel growing. So let's as always, like, share, subscribe, but now hype as well, and I'll see you guys in the next one.